You know, I always find it interesting when people are like super shocked that you would make a decision out of like the kindness of your heart or a decision out of love. It makes me think. The reason you're asking me like, are you sure, or are you not gonna go back on your decision, or is because you would do that. You're so shocked that I would do something because you wouldn't do it. And I sit on that. We give so many people, what's the word I would use? We give them the treatment we wish to receive from them. And they're so shocked when we give it to them because they would never do it for us. Shit is crazy.
Ashlee Robinson, better known as Ashlee Jenae on social media, was outside, living, glowing, loving life the way people say they want to, but rarely actually do. And somewhere along that journey, she got tired of the usual men who wasted time, played games, and showed up empty. So when Joe McCan stepped in talking different, moving different, promising forever before children, marriage before motherhood, it hit different. Because let's be honest, when a man starts leading with commitment instead of confusion, that'll make you pause. That'll make you reconsider what perfect even looks like. And Joe, he knew exactly what he was doing. He stepped in polished, intentional, generous. The kind of man who didn't just talk about providing, he performed it. Luxury wasn't a dream around him. It was a lifestyle. Chanel, Dior, Louboutin, whatever Ashlee liked, Joe made sure it showed up. And for Ashlee, that wasn't just appealing, it was on brand. So no, she didn't hesitate. She didn't second guess. She didn't run. Because to her, this wasn't about race. It was about results. And Joe was delivering, or at least, that's what it looked like. Because by the time that whirlwind romance came crashing down, Jenae wasn't just gone. She was found under circumstances so disturbing, so calculated, that the same man who played Prince Charming had everybody asking, who are you really? And more importantly, how long were you playing in her face? And for the ones who always side-eye situations like this, it just confirmed what they already believed, that you might have a better chance walking through a safari with lions than laying next to a white man pretending to love you. Welcome to the American Crime Femicide channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future uploads.
You know, sometimes it's just necessary to go get your makeup done, get your hair done, get your nails did, look cute, get dressed up, to remind a motherfucker to stop playing with you. Like,
Ashlee was that girl before any man ever entered the picture. And that part always seems to get lost once a story turns tragic. She wasn't waiting to be chosen. She had already chosen herself. Years before anybody ever heard the name Joe McCan, Ashlee was building a life that a lot of people only fake on social media. She was traveling, modeling, getting booked, showing up in music videos, and quietly turning a childhood dream into something real. Modeling wasn't even designed for women like her. Short, not fitting the industry's narrow standards. But Ashlee didn't care about rules that were built to exclude her. She adapted. She pivoted. She found her lane and made it work. While others complained about doors being closed, she was walking around the building and finding a window. And eventually, that hustle turned into brand trips, international travel, and a lifestyle that looked soft on the outside, but was built on persistence behind the scenes. Paris, Italy, Jamaica. Ashlee wasn't dreaming about these places. She was in them, posting casually like it was normal. Because for her, it had become normal. But Ashlee wasn't just selling beauty. She had a mouth on her too. Not reckless, not ignorant, but sharp, honest. The kind of honesty that makes people uncomfortable because it doesn't come wrapped in politeness. She called it Ash Facts.
Alright, hear me out. And maybe this is just me. But I just thought about it because I was driving on my way home. I really be ready to cut a nigga off over the smallest shit. Like, the littlest thing, I just be turned off. Like, ugh. It was mad people in the regular lane. And the express lane was clear as fuck. I'm zooming through that bitch. Passing. Feet. As a grown man, in 2023, living in the state of Florida, specifically Dade County, Broward County, fuck is you doing without a sun pass? Like, honestly, you want to just vibe in traffic. Vibe. Could take you 15 minutes to get somewhere. You want to chill out for the next 45 minutes sitting in a regular lane for what? It ain't gonna work with me, baby. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna lie. I'm talking about, yo, babe, get over into the express lanes faster, da-da-da. Nah, like, I ain't finna do all that. Bitch, if you don't drive over them fucking cones and get on.
Depending on who you were, her jokes were either refreshing or too much. But that's the thing about women who refuse to shrink themselves. People either gravitate toward them or get intimidated and run. Ashlee wasn't interested in being digestible. She was young, bold, and fully aware of the energy she carried. And when it came to dating, she didn't move like someone just looking to pass time. She had expectations, standards. She wasn't trying to collect situationships. She wanted romance, love, marriage, a real future. And that alone was enough to scare off the kind of men who prefer access without responsibility. So when Joe entered the picture, it didn't feel like just another man trying his luck. He presented himself differently, not struggling, not figuring life out, not asking her to build with him while he brought nothing to the table. Joe came in established. At least that's how he sold it. A self-proclaimed millionaire, founder, CEO, a man moving in crypto and finance spaces that most people don't even understand enough to question. He wasn't just talking ambition, he was performing it. And to a woman like Ashlee, who had already built something for herself, that mattered. But what made their relationship even more interesting is how quietly it started. For nearly a year, Joe existed in the background. Ashlee would post glimpses, luxury shopping, trips, moments, but never fully showed him. No face, no tags, just enough to let people know she was living well, but not enough to invite opinions. She was moving differently, more private, more intentional. Meanwhile, her life seemed to shift. The Miami-based model suddenly showing up in Portland, Oregon, a place that didn't match her usual aesthetic, her usual vibe. People noticed. They always do, but she didn't explain. She didn't have to. Then on November 3rd, 2025, the mystery ended. Ashlee went public. One post, one caption, 365 down. Here's to forever. A clean, curated reveal that told the world everything it needed to know. This wasn't new. This wasn't casual. This was serious. From that point on, Joe wasn't hidden anymore. He was front and center. The posts increased. The affection became visible. The branding of their relationship tightened up. And just like that, Ashlee wasn't just a woman building her own life. She was a woman in love, and she made sure people saw it. And Joe? He played the role perfectly. Trips got bigger. Gestures got louder. The lifestyle elevated. He leaned into everything Ashlee loved. Luxury, travel, experiences, and made sure she had access to all of it. Chanel, Dior, high-end shopping sprees. It wasn't occasional. It was consistent. And for Ashlee, that didn't feel excessive. It felt aligned, like she had finally met someone who matched her frequency instead of draining it. By the time April came around, things escalated to what looked like a fairy tale. Joe planned a birthday getaway for Ashlee at a wildlife resort in Zanzibar, something straight off a vision board. Not just a trip, but an experience. A luxury villa at Zuri, Zanzibar, surrounded by nature, animals roaming freely, curated beauty everywhere you looked. It was the kind of setting people use for proposals, and Joe knew that, because by April 3rd, while they were walking the trails, feeding animals, Playing into this picture-perfect moment, he dropped to one knee. And just like that, Ashlee went from girlfriend to fiancé. A proposal in paradise. A man who seemed intentional. A future that looked secure. It was everything she had been vocal about wanting. Love, commitment, stability. And by April 5th, her 31st birthday, she wasn't just celebrating another year of life. She was celebrating a new chapter. Engaged, chosen, secure. It looked like she had finally arrived at the life she had been working toward. But here's the thing about fairy tales. They don't warn you when they're about to collapse. Somewhere between April 5th and April 10th, something shifted. And not subtly. Not quietly. According to resort staff, Ashlee and Joe got into a heated argument. Serious enough that they had to be separated into different rooms. That alone was a red flag. Not a disagreement. Not a small disagreement you laugh off. A situation serious enough for staff intervention. And this is happening days after a proposal. Days after promises of forever. Then, silence. Ashlee's social media. Usually active, expressive, consistent. Went completely dark. No posts. No updates. Nothing. And for someone who documented her life the way she did, that wasn't normal. That wasn't her. By April 10th, this story took a turn that didn't sit right with anybody. The last time her family heard from her, she was happy. So when they got a call from Tanzanian authorities, they were shocked. And that call confirmed what nobody was ready to hear. Ashlee was dead.
Ashlee Robinson, according to her family, was a light. She's the oldest of 6. She loved traveling the world. And they told me that they're very confused, honestly, by the lack of transparency about the investigation and the lack of communication from Robinson's fiance.
For influencer Ashlee Robinson, known to tens of thousands of her followers as Ashlee Jenae, a birthday trip to a tropical paradise was supposed to be the pinnacle of a lifestyle built on travel and exploration. It was here on the East African island of Zanzibar where her boyfriend Joe McCan dropped to one knee. On Monday, we spoke to Robinson's parents.
We both had FaceTime conversations with her. She was showing us the engagement ring and where they were. She was happy. It doesn't make any sense.
In the middle of celebrating her engagement to McCan, just days after her 31st birthday, police say Robinson was rushed to a local hospital after she was found unconscious and was later pronounced dead.
We found out that our daughter had passed from the hotel. The fiance did not reach out to us at all.
Robinson's mother told another news outlet the couple had an argument so severe that hotel staff moved them into separate rooms. Investigators in Zanzibar announced Tuesday that McCan is being held for questioning. Authorities have also seized his passport pending the results of an autopsy.
Do you believe that Joe McCan had something to do with your daughter's death?
We don't know what went on.
What did she tell you her dreams or her goals were for the future?
She believed that she was on the path of the next chapter of her life in settling with someone who she believed to be the love of her life.
Now, we have been unable to reach Joe McCan, his relatives, or anyone from the investment company that he founded. The State Department says it is monitoring the case. In the meantime, a crowdfunding page is helping raise money for Robinson's relatives to travel to Zanzibar to help get some answers.
Now the case sits in that uncomfortable space, open, unresolved, heavy with questions. Her family is pushing for answers, for clarity, for accountability, whatever that ends up looking like. Because going from planning a wedding to planning a funeral isn't just tragic, it's jarring. It's unnatural. It's the kind of emotional whiplash that doesn't settle, it lingers. Ashlee Jenae was young, beautiful, driven, and by all visible accounts, happy. She was stepping into a new chapter, not closing the book. She should have been picking out dresses, venues, colors, arguing over wedding details, not becoming a headline wrapped in confusion and grief. Instead, her story ends here, for now, with more questions than answers. And a family left trying to understand how a woman who looked like she had everything she wanted ended up losing everything. May Ashlee Robinson rest in peace.